It is the biggest 2-for-1 in fog racing history. Welcome back to the channel. We've got your sprint recap and then we've got your quality recap. We're going to start in chronological order. The sprint, of course, took place about 3 a.m. this morning, UK time. Didn't get up and watched it. I recorded it just like the qualifying. You know what? I don't know. Sky Glass, right? So you can add it as a series, so it technically records it, but you can't skip the ads. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there skipping through the breaks. I mean, at least with the sprint, it was one continuous thing, but like in qualifying and shit like that, and the build up, you have to watch like the 4.5 minute ad breaks, man. It was brutal. But let's talk about it. Um, Lewis Hamilton won the sprint from Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen. Was it that simple though? Let's talk about the start of the race. Hamilton did pretty well. He blocks off Verstappen. Verstappen leads Piastri behind him, so that's the front three. Verstappen, Hamilton, Verstappen, Piastri. Norris makes a mistake pretty much immediately and drops from like fifth down to ninth. Alonso was sniffing about, and he's behind Stroll. Ow! 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 Stroll and Antonelli and Shinoda. And you know what? It was really hard to overtake. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. But the tyre wear was a lot worse than I think what most of us would have expected. Because you were like six, seven, 8 laps in, and the raw like tyres are dead on the mediums. So I think if someone started on the hard tyre in this sprint race, we could have seen something drastically different. But the problem is they want to save the hard tyre for the race, so I do understand that. We've seen Sainz pit. He was the only guy to actually pit. I don't know if that was a puncture because he was going extremely, extremely slow. Then he ended up down in 17th, I believe. Carlos Sainz ended up finishing. So, yeah, that's a rare laugh, brother, isn't it? Absolutely. And then, what did we have after that? I mean, we did have a few good battles. Russell overtook Leclerc. Antonelli couldn't get past Shinoda. Norris did get past Stroll. Hamilton managed to fend off a couple of attacks for Verstappen to hang on, but you know, is the Ferrari's race pace that good, or is it just a simple case of, well, you know what, they didn't actually have to defend, no attack really, and Hamilton was able to save his tires. It's probably that. Like Leclerc looked really good at the end behind Russell, but then in certain corners he just couldn't follow. So, yeah, I mean, it ended Hamilton, Piastri, Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, Shinoda, Antonelli, Norris, with both Aston Martins behind. Williams looked a wee bit poor. Liam Lawson got up to 14th. He finished with Liam Lawson finished 34 seconds off his teammate in a 19 lap race. And, you know, it leaves the championship, right? Like this. Oh my God, they've not updated it. Why have they not updated the championship? Or have they? No, they have updated the championship. My bad. Anyway, Lando Norris sits with 26 points. Verstappen sits on 24. And do you not see like the problem there immediately? It's like that poor sprint for Norris basically cancels out his win in Melbourne. You know what I mean? Max just took a hell of a lot of points out of him. Um, George Russell, well, I'll tell you what, George Russell, right, 6 points off Norris and starts second in the in qualifying, which we'll get to in a minute. That's very good. You know what I mean? Even someone like Antonelli, who qualifying the day was a bit shy, I think he got what, sixth or was it seventh? I don't even know. We'll look at it in a minute. It's like he's only 12 points off. If he can iron out issues, he can definitely fight for the championship. You know, Piastri on 9 points alongside him and Hamilton, so they're what 17 off Norris. Yeah, that's the great thing about this year, right? Despite the fact I think most of us think McLaren will dominate, like we're not. It's not last season where there was a shift in Miami and McLaren, you know, took the mantle for Red Bull. I mean, there was like a 60 point gap. Like Norris is leading right now, so we'll see who's leading after the Mora. But yeah, I mean, much better the day from the likes of Leclerc and Hamilton. They actually got a few points on the board, and yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of points from like a Hamilton and Leclerc point of view that they got today. I mean, obviously it is a lot for Hamilton because he picked up a point in Melbourne, so he got an 8 today. But that gets him within 17 of Norris, and I think, as Ferrari go through their early season struggles, they do really need to sort it out to a degree, and then, yeah. But into qualifying then we go. Right, so we'll start in Q1. P20, Liam Lawson. P19, Bortoletto. Jack Doohan, 18th. Berman, 17th. And Gasly, 16th. So, Alpine, I do not know what's happened to Alpine. They looked like comfortably best of the rest in testing to a point with Williams not far behind them. I mean, if you were to pick a best of the rest team now, it would be RB. And I'm not talking about right back. I'm talking about Racing Bulls, damn it. Racing Bulls. That's the way I would go every single day of the week, my friends. It would be Racing Bulls. But yeah, let's talk about Liam Lawson, man. Talk about Racing Bulls. You'd stick Isaac Hadjar in that Red Bull. Honestly, you can't, how many? Like, that's 2 sessions in a row here. He's qualified 20th. Out in Q1 in Australia. Last in sprint quali, and now last in real quali, while his teammates up battling for pole. You know what I mean? It's no good enough, man. It ain't. And I'm sick of it. Into Q2. Sainz 15th, Stroll 14th, Alonso 13th, Hulkenberg 12th, and Ocon 11th. So very good qualifyings from Ocon and Hulkenberg, and I would say by far the 2 slowest cars, so really good. Alonso qualifies Stroll, and then Carlos Sainz P15. Really not good. Into Q3 it was. Alexander Albon P10, Shinoda 9th, Antonelli got 8th. Oh, that's no good. Isaac Hadjar 7th. Again, not very good from Antonelli, but Isaac Hadjar gets a wee star for me. Ferrari 6th and 5th. Again, not brilliant, but you know what? They're not a million miles off the top of the table. They're really not. But it's similar lap time to what Hamilton did in sprint quali yesterday. You would expect some form of gain, wouldn't you, from Ferrari? But it's weird, right? There's a lot of talk about, McLaren, the car's on a knife edge and it's hard to extract. Honestly, I think looking at the top 4 teams, it's kind of all the same. Who saw that Russell lap coming? No one. But he managed to stick it, second. Tells me it's on a knife edge. Look at Liam Lawson. Look at Verstappen. That car's on a knife edge. Just Max Verstappen's the master of the blade. And then McLaren and Ferrari, I would say, are quite similar to that point as well, where it is kind of like a knife edge. Antonelli, maybe P8, right? And Russell's second. A lot of gaps between them. But, less than 4 tenths is the gap. And it just shows you how close the grid is. From Antonelli to Piastri, it was 5 tenths. And fair play to Isaac Hadjar, only 4 tenths off Oscar Piastri. But anyway, folks, that's it for your sprint and quali recap. Fun wee Saturday morning watch there. I really look forward to the race. It's great to have unpredictability in F1. Like, I think Piastri will win tomorrow, don't get me wrong, but the fact it's 56 laps and teams can pit and do undercuts, I think the tyre wear's that bad. Honestly, anyone in that top 6 could win. I mean that. And that's what you want going into an F1 race. Anyway, folks, leave your thoughts down below, and peace.